Hey everybody, so I'm super excited to show you guys my Valentine's Day nails with my super cute charm. Don't you just love it? And yeah, it's detachable, so let's get started. So I'm going to begin by just cleaning off the dust from my nail plate where I prepped my nail with my e-file. So I'm going to peel off the backing of the form and place it onto the back of the form, just like so. So I'm squeezing the tip of the form together very lightly. I don't want to close it all the way because I'm going to be using a C-curve stick to make sure that my nails have a consistent, long, deep C-curve from the tip of my nail all the way to the hyponychium. I'm going to clip the back just so that I can get it on a little bit more easy. And now I'm going to place the form onto the nail and begin to put the C-curve stick underneath so that when I squeeze the form, I'm making sure I don't squeeze it all the way closed so that that C-curve begins to collapse. On my form right here, you'll see that I'm trying to make sure that my lines are completely straight from the sidewall all the way out to the longest point of the nail. So we're going to be using the colors 118 from Valentino called Snake Eyes, as well as number 120, which is a beautiful red called Candy Apple. You can order these products on my website, www.houseofbling.com. So I'm going to fill up 3 dampened dishes with a little bit of monomer. This is Valentino monomer. You can get it on my website as well. I'm doing that to prevent contamination from the colors of the colored acrylic and my pink that I'm going to be using for my extended nail bed. So here you'll see me using the Dehydrator by Band-Aid OPI and also Tammy Taylor Nail Primer, which is one of my favorites. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay down a bead of clear acrylic. The reason I'm doing that just to the free edge area is because this is going to be a pretty long nail and I want to make sure that I have lots of strength. So this is going to give me that strength that I need for the length that I'm going to have. By the way, we're going all the way up to, I believe, number 5 or 6. Now the objective of this is to make it very thin and very smooth. The smoother the application, the better the nail is going to look and the easier it's going to be for you to apply your colored acrylics and such because they have a much different consistency than the clear and the cover pink. So make sure everything is smooth so that way your transitions will be clear. So now that that's dry, we're going to go ahead and add our bead of pink cover acrylic by Young Nails is what my choice is today. I'm going to apply the bead backwards. This makes it a little easier for me, being that my brush has a nice point to it, to be able to make that point a little bit smoother, that smile line, as we say. We like to have nice, deep smile lines. We don't want, frown lines. So that's why I like to lay it backwards. It just makes it easier for me to make the acrylic very nice and clean with my application. So now I'm going to add another bead of pink acrylic to the cuticle area. I'm going to press my brush down into it, get as close as I can, holding my finger downward and let gravity do a little bit of work. I'm going to pull in my sidewall areas first and control my acrylic so that it doesn't get on the sidewalls. Then I'm going to bring that acrylic down very smoothly. You want to have a little ledge at the tip of your smile line so that way you won't start bleeding into your colored acrylics, or your colored acrylics bleeding into your smile line. So when you get ready to file, so make sure that smile line is nice and crisp and nice and high. Oh my God, I just love these flakes. I'm wearing them on my other hand, my non-dominant hand. We're gonna put these into our black acrylic that we're about to lay. It's gonna be so beautiful. We're gonna ombre it down, so keep watching. So I'm gonna pick up a small bead of number 118, Snake Eyes by Valentino, and I'm gonna apply that directly to the smile line area without getting it everywhere. Try not to anyway. This color is very highly pigmented and you want to try to keep it off of your nice crispy smile line. Now I'm going to take number 120, Candy Apple by Valentino acrylic systems, and I'm going to tuck that red into those, I don't know, the ears of my smile line. I don't know, the corners of my smile line. Yeah, that's what we're going to say. I'm going to tuck that in really nicely and try not to get it all over my nail bed, my extended nail bed that I made. And I didn't succeed at that. I did get it on there, but we'll file that off later. So just keep watching, continue to do that, tuck it in, make sure it's nice and crisp. to pick up a bead and place the acrylic up close to the smile line, and then I'm going to blend down ever so slightly. I don't want to get rid of all the black that I laid. So I'm picking up some of the OG red flakes. I'm not even really wetting it much. Make sure you cover up everything. Just the wetness from your brush will make the flakes stay in place, and you want to be careful because these can get really thick if you place them too close together, I guess too much at one time. So you want to make sure that you're not doing that. So ombre it down carefully and try not to get this stuff everywhere. I swear it goes everywhere. Now I'm going to take my C-curve stick and place it underneath the form like I did before I started laying the acrylic, so that I can make sure I maintain that long slim C-curve that I created in the beginning when I placed my form on. Now I'm taking some clear acrylic by Young Nails, and I picked up a pretty large bead because I want to make sure that I can one bead it all the way down this very long nail. So I'm starting pretty close to the cuticle and making sure that my consistency is good so that I can drag that acrylic down, let gravity do some work. I'm just going to keep patting until my acrylic is where I want it to be. So of course I wasn't able to get my acrylic down the nail in one whole bead, of course. So we're gonna do another one. So lay that bead of acrylic pretty close to where your original bead was and where it ended. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna slide that acrylic down the nail. Just let gravity do its work. So now I'm going to remove the C-curve stick so that I can pinch the nail. And I'm going to replace it so that I can pinch it directly onto the C-curve, like so. I'm going to start my normal filing routine, which is sidewalls, and then tip. This is not easy to do, you guys, especially not on your own hands. I'm using something to prop my finger up. This is just something that I do. It makes it a lot easier and it helps me make sure that that sidewall is completely straight. You can use whatever you like. I'm just using the top of my Young Nails container just to keep my hand steady. So now I'm going to start to file the cuticle area. You want to be very careful this part, and you also want to make sure that you don't file away your apex. We worked really hard to try to make sure that we had a nice high apex, which you need for the strength of your nails so that they won't break. So you definitely want to try and make sure you don't file it away. So now I'm going to pull out my E-file. I love this drill bit. It is a safety bit, and it is available on my website, www.hausofbling.com. I love this bit. It will keep you from cutting your clients every single time. So stay tuned for more videos on how to use a safety bit. So now that I've finished filing my nail with my hand file and my E-file, I'm going to begin to buff. Be careful when buffing. You don't want to buff your shape out. You just tried to make sure that those sidewalls were nice and crisp, and you really can over buff. So be gentle with the buffing. Now we're going to seal our lovely nail that we just finished with Intense Seal by IBD. This is not to go over polish. This is to go directly on top of gel that's been buffed or acrylic nails that you don't plan to polish. I always like to clean up my sidewalls, make sure there's no polish on the sidewalls at all that will cause lifting. So I take a little cleanup brush. This is an old 3D brush that I used to use for 3D acrylic. We're going to pop that in an LED lamp for 30 seconds or a UV lamp for 2 minutes, and you are finished and ready for designs. This is my favorite part, the blinging. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm starting with a very large Swarovski crystal that is available in my store. And I'm applying a bead of clear acrylic and setting that stone into that clear acrylic. You want to make sure you apply enough acrylic around that stone, but very, very smoothly, because we're going to add a whole bunch more stones to this. So we don't want it to be too high or we won't be able to lay those stones flat. Add a small bead of acrylic, clear acrylic, so that I can add a jump ring to my cluster, because as you can see in the beginning of the video, I have a little charm that I handmade that I'm going to be able to clip on and off when I don't want to wear it, so that it's not too bulky of a design, and then add another point back right on top of it, so it will cover the other side of that jump ring. So I've added another stone, and I'm just putting clear acrylic all around those stones, adding a couple point backs to the empty areas to fill in that cluster. Adding clear acrylic to all your empty spaces will ensure that this cluster does not move, I guarantee. Just make sure you do all of these steps. I promise you your cluster will stay put. Now I'm going to take a clear bead of acrylic and dip it directly into some gold caviar that I have off to the side here. And I'm going to fill in the empty spots around my stone with the caviar that is dipped into the clear acrylic. This is going to make it super strong and super durable. You won't lose a single bead. Just adding more caviar to the top area that had an open space. You can fill this in with stones, you can fill it in with point backs. I just want a lot more gold in this design, so I'm filling that area in with beads. Just be creative, do whatever you like. So this is the finished design with the charm, and stay tuned for the video on how I made that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on my website, www.houseofbling.com.